Hey there, it's Sam. I'm here in my neighborhood, San Francisco. I actually live in one of those buildings back there, and I'm just making a quick video talking about some of the recent stuff that's happening in the sky. Of course, Mercury just turned retrograde last week, and as soon as Mercury turned retrograde, we had, well, not as soon, but quickly after, we had the downgrade of our currency from the S&P, and regardless of what you think of that agency or how fair it is or whatever, it certainly happened, which is it's a reversal of something that actually has been around for a long time. And the other thing we had happen yesterday is, or a couple days ago, is we had that unfortunate military accident in Afghanistan. Again, these are activities that tend to reverse things, and this is the nature of Mercury retrograde. I've had some things that were a bit of a reversal at the time, but then what it allowed me to do was to make a correction, and it can lead to a positive outcome. I've experienced several of those things myself, but this is definitely something that can happen. It's one of the features of Mercury retrograde, and so what happens is when the events that take place allow us to become more introspective and to really consider and think about what that thing means. And that's with all retrograde planets. Retrograde, in a birth chart, you'll see that a retrograde planet tends to feel like it's backing up in our mind and consciousness, so that thing becomes a very important kind of inner factor, because its external nature becomes a bit confusing, because our life on Earth is moving forward, and this planet appears to be moving backwards. It's not actually moving backwards. It's just its speed relative to our perspective here has a reversed quality. So, in addition to that, one of the other important factors is that Mercury's in Magha, Nakshatra, and I'm going to talk about Nakshatras this week on a free webinar on Tuesday night, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. You want to really check that out, because the other important thing that happened in these recent events that I just talked about, these two recent events, is that Mars also changed Nakshatra, and he went from Mrigashira to Ardra Nakshatra, and this is also really important. I do a lot of updates where I talk about planets and the signs and where they're going and aspects, and I allude to Nakshatras, here and there, but because I only have so much room and so much space and so much time, and I want to make it so that people understand what I'm talking about, I don't often talk about Nakshatras as much because, well, frankly, they're usually over people's heads. And I don't get a lot of opportunity to really just delve into the nature of the Nakshatras and how literally they impact events and karmas and things like that. So, like I said, I am doing a free webinar on Tuesday night, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. You should really check that out, because you're going to see me go over the recent events, the recent world events that has to do with the debt ceiling, and also other recent events that we've been talking about and we've been seeing in the world. But I'm going to talk about them and illustrate them through the Nakshatras and show the influence of how the Nakshatras has changed the events and shown how they work. So, we usually talk about planets and signs, but Vedic astrology is foundationally and fundamentally based on the Nakshatras, and so if you're not using them, then you really need to understand. And I realize it's hard. There are 27 of them. They're all these Indian deities, so that's what I'm going to do on Tuesday, is explain that. A lot of fascinating things in the world right now, and a lot of these twists and turns, and they're all shown by the stories of the Nakshatras, at least a lot of the nuance beyond just the event, but the nuance is shown in those things. So check that out, Tuesday, 5:30. It's free, and obviously it's in your home, because it's just a webinar. You just need to register, and then you'll get reminded like an hour or so before. You just click a link and you'll watch the presentation. So hope you're having a good day. We're here in San Francisco. This is my hood. Pretty nice place to live. It's kind of hard to leave. It's Lower Nob Hill, San Francisco, California. So you have a good day.